Ladies and gentlemen, I did it. I didn't want to do it, but I did it. I watched Hannah Gadsby's Gender Agenda. Why did I do it? Because I'm a sucker for punishment. It's been out for about 3 months, the dust has settled, the ratings are in, and I kind of had to. I made a video about this when they announced it. You know, when they came out with the coming soon preview. And I knew it was going to be bad. And it was bad. How bad was it, you ask? It was this bad. It got a 37% audience review from Rotten Tomatoes. To give you an idea, that's about on par with Space Cadet, The Emoji Movie, and Sharknado. So yeah, it was bad. Now, I made a prediction about this comedy special in my last video. It's all gonna be, I'm gay and trans and gay and trans and trans and gay. I'm a lesbian. Or it's gonna be, I'm depressed. I've got anxiety. There's something wrong with my brain. I just have this feeling. Now, I don't want to say I told you so, but I was like 1,000,000,000,000,000% right. It was worse than I thought. And we're going to have a look at it all right after this message. Check out this awesome new game, Honkai Star Rail, now available on PS5 with data sync across PC and mobile. This new multi-platform galactic fantasy RPG comes from the creators of Hoyoverse, the makers of the already successful Genshin Impact, and the best thing about it, it's free to play. With more than 100 million downloads in less than a year of its launch, the game Honkai has won Best Game on the TGA, Google Play and the App Store. 10 minutes into the game and you're captured by the intriguing plotline and the space fantasy environments. Search for treasure chests, solve puzzles, explore each NPC's story and uncover the secrets of the world. Collect more than 30 playable characters with their own unique personalities, backstories and battle strengths to boost your battle team. The game uses a turn-based battle experience but is highly tactical, so you'll need to choose your character lineup carefully to defeat certain enemies. Check out these awesome new characters, Firefly and Sam and Jade. Firefly and Sam are fire-type destruction characters. When Firefly enters battle, she puts on a mechanical combat suit and adopts the identity of Sam to enhance her battle prowess. Jade is a femme fatale opportunistic pawnbroker. Her style is a quantum-type erudition character, and she uses her high heels to stomp on her enemies when unleashing her ultimate. The game is regularly updated, and in the new version 2.3, Trailblazers will be invited aboard the Radiant Feldspar, a luxury airship. There's also new events, such as a simulated universe season and the arcade, the first event to support PvP gameplay, where you can challenge your friends. There's new cavern relics and planar ornaments, and the return of characters Ruan, May and Argenti in the Warp. There's 10 free pools that await you. Log in for 7 days to claim 10 Star Rail special passes for free, which can be used to draw Firefly and Sam and Jade. Click the link in the description below to experience these characters and use the redemption codes provided to get 50 Stellar Jade. Happy gaming.
After an entire lifetime of being a practicing lesbian, I have to learn to be gay man hot.
My name is Chloe, I'm extraordinarily gay.
My dad is also gay, which is very nuanced of me, I know.
If you've ever taken a dick or two from time to time.
As a trans person,
I didn't even have to do the hand gestures. Good work.
But it's like we're the only 2 gay people in the family.
non-binary, bisexual, polyamorous, dyslexic performance artist.
I'm just trying to get rid of gender norms.
You're gonna meet a man with a perfect dick.
Now, I'm sorry about the background music and the watermark, but this is Netflix. If I use the footage as is, they'll copyright claim it quicker than you can say non-binary, bisexual, polyamorous, dyslexic performance artist. So that's what we're stuck with, I'm afraid. Now, here's Hannah Gadsby opening the show.
A few years back, Netflix released an incredibly transphobic comedy special from one of their pet edgelords, and there was a bit of a brouhaha that followed. Big brouhaha.
Yeah, she's talking about Dave Chappelle. She doesn't like Dave Chappelle because he made some trans jokes. And you can't make trans jokes. You can joke about literally everything else. And trans people can make trans jokes. But if anyone else makes trans jokes, then they hate trans people or something. And did that audience reaction seem fake to you?
From one of their pet edgelords, and
Yeah, that seems fake to me. It was like delayed, but all together. Like, why wasn't the laughter sort of dispersed? It was like it was to a timer or something, or a cue.
Netflix agreed to work with us to build this evening of a whole bunch of fabulous and diverse genderqueer performance for this evening. And I am incredibly excited to bring this to you. It won't fix it. It's not enough.
Fix what? What's not enough? Get over yourself. Some people made some jokes. And Hannah here had to go running to the Netflix CEO, crying, transphobia! Please won't you make it stop? And so he caved and gave her this special, where she curates a bunch of queer comedians in a painfully unfunny hour and 15-minute long show. Now, it's not unfunny because they're queer. It's unfunny because all they can talk about is how they're queer. Let's have a look. So the lineup starts with Jes Tom, a transgender man, I think. I mean, she says she's non-binary, but then goes on to talk about how she used to be a lesbian, but he's now a gay man who still uses the women's bathrooms. But as predicted, her set contains very little comedy. It's all just, look at me, I'm queer and trans and whatever.
Lesser known fact about testosterone is that testosterone can change people's sexual orientation because sometimes God likes to play a trick. So after an entire lifetime of being a practicing lesbian, for the first time ever, I find myself attracted to men. I love how no matter who's in the audience, gay, straight, bi, cis, trans, everyone's like, oh, that's bad.
So hang on a sec, she's allowed to joke about cisgender men being bad, but Dave Chappelle even utters the word transgender and he's literally Hitler. I mean, he never even jokingly implied trans bad. Her funniest joke, and I'm using the term funny very liberally, is about the difference between women sexting and men sexting, and how women tend to write novels and build character arcs, while men just send pictures of their dicks. Next up is Chloe Petts, a butch lesbian with a North England accent in it, whose only comedic angle is how she gets misgendered, and people think she's a bloke, which yeah, okay. She does jokes about how the highlight of her day is when the fish and chip shop guy calls her boss man, and how she's part vegetarian. She just samples meat every now and then to see if it tastes better than the climate. I mean, it's just a full frontal cringe attack. She goes on to talk about how every bloke she meets at a wedding has a hot girlfriend that she's jealous of or something.
Josh, he'll be the most boring man you've ever met in your life. 100% of the time, he'll introduce you to his girlfriend, who is the most stunning, talented, beautiful woman you have ever seen in your life. And I'm just sort of looking at her like, blink twice if you need me to get you out of this. There's a whole community of lesbians that I can take you to.
0 stars, Chloe. Sorry, love. Then we've got Asha Ward, who kind of just makes you tired. You know the type, an obese stoned woman who communicates solely in vocal fry.
I signed up for a kickboxing class. I had to immediately quit. Because a fully grown man beat my ass. I was like, damn, that doesn't feel legal.
And look, I don't know what the audience situation is. Were they just really primed to make this the funniest night ever? Is there a laugh track added in post? Because so far, I haven't audibly laughed once. And I'm not trying to be a dick. If I reckon something's funny, I'm gonna tell you. Like, check this out.
Before that, I used to teach improv at a Jewish summer camp, which is wild. Because I don't do improv and I'm not Jewish.
I mean, that's at most a little chuckle from me, if I'm feeling really generous and trying to get into the spirit, but I just don't get the roaring laughter. But hey, at least she talks about something other than how super duper ultra gay she is. DeAnne Smith. She starts her set with a bit about how she's ridden with anxiety. But instead of calling it anxiety, she says her mind sparkles with imaginary danger. There's rapturous applause because, you know, being queer and having mental health issues is really, 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 really funny. She does some weird thing about global revolution and ties that into having her tits cut off somehow. It's bizarre. Watch this.
I feel crushed by the responsibility of having a microphone at this moment in history. Anything less than calling for global revolution feels a bit self-indulgent, you know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, we're all on board. I hope we all agree what that means when I say that. It's like, what am I gonna do, talk about boobs? I got top surgery not that long ago.
The rest of her set is about how she's actually a weird little trans guy, as she describes it, and that she doesn't have any nipples.
I have no nipples right now. Do you understand that? Do you understand that I have zero nipples? No nipples.
I just don't understand this audience. Then we've got Mix Dahlia Belle. And you know what I find interesting? Hannah put 3 blokes at the end of the show. We started with 4 women who weren't sure if they were women or not, and we're gonna end with 4 blokes who aren't sure if they're blokes or not. He talks about being called a booty bandit and a bum burglar when he was a kid. Then goes on to talk about the word cis, and in doing so references a bunch of tranny fags. And you can kind of feel the audience get weird about it, because, you know, this whole show's kind of a reaction to Dave Chappelle, and he never called anyone a tranny fag. Look at this.
The day an unprovoked gang of tranny fags hurl bricks at someone while shouting cisgender, it will be a slur.
You see what I mean? I think he was expecting uncontrollable laughter through that whole section, but it only came at the very end of the joke, as if on cue. The rest of his set is literally about dicks. Not even joking, just dicks.
If you take enough dicks from time to time, you're gonna meet a man with a perfect dick. The dick of legends. The dick your mom told you about.
So as you can imagine, my patience was being thoroughly tested at this point. I mean, I'm watching the fucking thing, going back over clips, recording clips, putting them in order, but we've got 2 more to go.
As a trans person in the past, some people would have said that I was a man trapped inside a woman's body. Never really identified with that. Although, if you think about it, we were all once trapped inside a woman's body.
Oh, look at this. One of them got past me. I thought this was a dude pretending to be a woman. It's not. It's a woman pretending to be a dude wearing a skirt for some reason. Anyway, Krishna Istha has less than mediocre jokes about men. In particular, white men, of course. There's all kinds of confusion about identity and shit like that, and I kinda just zoned out for the rest of her set. This was getting really hard to watch.
Defining yourself is pretty hard when you're an Indian American kind of Australian person living in Britain who's a trans masculine non-binary bisexual polyamorous dyslexic performance artist.
And finally, we have Alok. And I'm not gonna lie, there was a minor chuckle. I'm not sure if I was desperately searching for something to be funny, but there was a very minor chuckle.
If you find yourself accidentally laughing at one of my jokes tonight, then you're officially endorsing the transgender agenda. And if you don't laugh, then you're kind of affirming my gender. Because women aren't funny.
As I said, very minor, but it was something. Finally. Anyway, Alok talks about LGBTQ book bans in Texas, attempts to make some witty and humorous quips about gender norms, and just fucking drivels on about transgender this and queer that and LGBT this. Then they finish with a bit about how luggage weight limits are too small for trans people to lead into this.
Where else am I supposed to put all the pain I have from being alive?
Shut the fuck up!
It was bad. They were all really, 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 really bad. But I do actually have one positive thing to say. All of these sets, while painfully unfunny, were 100 million billion% funnier than Nanette. And look, they're having a go, that's good I guess. I don't hate them, I just reckon they're cringe. Like occasionally, just joke about something other than your sexuality. Anyway, that about does it from me. Thanks for watching my TED Talk. Have a go at Honkai Star Rail, it's really, really fun. And I'll see you later. Ta-ta, goodbye.
Recession! Give me better times, give me better times. Recession!